All right, y'all. So we are back with another episode of Love and Marriage DC. Okay, episode 2 of season 2. Okay, and this is the night of the Think Pink party. So, of course, we had to throw in a little pink. Okay, listen, it could honestly be orange for all I know, because y'all know your boy is colorblind. But I like to think I'm in theme. Okay. So with that being said, welcome to the Ponderosa. Welcome to the Pink Ponderosa people. Okay. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye. Sky Squad. We are back in the building. Let's get down into rating this episode. Now, if I had to give this a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm gonna give this episode. I want to get I'm gonna give it a 9. Okay, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I gotta be real. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think it would have been a 9. I do feel like we were kind of thrown into the mix of the friendship circle that I wish could have been expanded on a little bit more last week. Now, I don't want to take too much away from production because I do realize that they had a heavy load to lift last week, i.e., they had to cover Monique's absence from the show. They had to also introduce us to Joy and Clifton in such a way that it made it feel like they weren't trying to replace Monique and Chris. So it was just a lot to do in the last episode. So maybe I'm on the fence between an 8.5 and a 9 because I do understand that there was a lot of heavy lifting that production needed to do last week. And there was maybe in my mind still a little bit of room to also introduce Sherelle and Winter stories last week. Because I feel like if we had gotten a bit more of an introduction, then tonight would have felt a bit more, oh, okay, so we kind of have met some of these people before. But again, last week we had to get to know Ashley's new assistant. We also had to get to know Ashley's best friend, Alicia. And so there was a lot to do. So I'm trying to work with it, but I got to be honest about how I feel about that because I did feel like, oh, I've been dropped into y'all ever been to those wave pools that they have in those water parks and things like that? I really hate them because I feel like they're dangerous AF. But I feel like I was dropped into one of those wave pools. And you know how like you in the wave pool, everybody having a good time, you anticipating the wave to come, but whenever it comes, you are kind of caught off guard. If you get caught off guard at a wave pool, 9 times out of 10, especially if you near the back, not the front with a wave coming, I wouldn't be there because that's scary. But if you near the bike, okay, if you near the bike, then the ground is not as smooth. So you bound to get knocked over, trampled, and scrape up your knees. That's how I felt a little bit tonight because I felt like I was just thrown into the mix of action and I needed a little bit of a warm up. Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, let me know your thoughts and what you would rate this episode on the scale of 1 to 10 and why in the chatterization down below. So let's go ahead and dive right on in, okay, to the Biz Naive. Now, we start off this episode with the confrontation between Jamie and Lil Jamie. Big Jamie, Lil Jamie, they out there fighting in the hallway, okay? It's about to get physical, okay? I mean, it's up and it's stuck between these two. Lil Jamie is ready to fight, okay? Now, they arguing about who playing with who and who's zooming who and playing in front of these people, i.e., the cameras, okay? And so that was an interesting little. It's like, are you breaking the fourth wall or what are we doing? Like, that's a new thing, for me a little bit, like to get the acknowledgement. Oh, you playing for the oh, okay. Oh, well, let's get it popping then, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, Now, Lil Jamie, I think you might be going off the deep end a little bit trying to fight your daddy. Okay. Now, I don't know. You know, I have seen these two men in person, but Big Jamie is a little bigger than Lil Jamie. So I don't know, Lil Jamie. I don't know if you want to, go rough and tough with your daddy, who is also a former police officer. You know, it might not be kosher for you to do. Okay. Especially if he's still paying for your car, your insurance, and things of the like. I would be real careful about how I, spoketh to the person who held the purse strings to my mode of transportation, unless that good girlfriend got an extra car for you to drive. I don't know that I would be talking to my daddy like that. Furthermore, I mean, for me, all I know is that I feel like literally, if I spoke to my daddy like that, the hand of God would come down, grab me up, scoop me, and toss me into the pit, the fiery pits of the HE double hockey sticks. Okay. It just ain't worth the juice, as they say, Lil Jamie, ain't worth the squeeze. And I wouldn't squeeze this lemon. Okay. Lil Jamie's still upset because he felt like he did everything right, and this background check still came up, bad for this job because of his past or whatever. Quick comes out to speak to Lil Jamie, and as Quick tries to tell him, like, you can't be mad at another man, whether it's your daddy, your brother, whomever, okay, for not taking care of things that you as a man need to take care of. And that's really some astute logic. But Lil Jamie is in his feelings right now, and he ain't trying to hear Quick's 2 cents. Okay. I don't want your 2 cents right now. I'm mad. Get out my face. In person, he simply says, okay. Okay, I got you, dog. Okay. Big Jamie feels like Lil Jamie is treating him like a brother or a homie. I have to agree. Okay. Because he paying for all these things, and the man just talking to him any kind of way. You can't do that now. Can't do that. Meanwhile, Winter, in the famous words of Monique, is back. Okay, now when they did this in my mind, the first thing that I immediately thought, to be honest with you, I thought was like, I wonder I can't help but wonder how, like, Monique will react to these. And I haven't talked to her about it because I feel like, I'm not gonna ask her about those types of things next time I speak to her. But it does make you wonder, because I wonder how I would feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But it was a cute little edit. So I felt like, in this instance, I don't know why this phrase is stuck in my head. The juice was worth the squeeze, because I felt like it was cute. Winter is back and working on the follow-up to her hit single, Sign My Papers and Get My Divorce. Okay, and this time it's Gutter Barbies. And yes, this song is positive. Okay. However positively you can make Gutter Barbies work. Okay. Okay. Anyway, she's working with Sir Alfred, aka Black. Okay. Black is a songwriter, producer extraordinaire, and apparently a former member of a band called Mambo Sauce, but we'll talk about that later. And then Sherelle joins them in the studio. Now, I got to tell you guys, point blank in the period, I met Sherelle over a decade ago working in radio. We were working on a project, and we just worked. It was brief, but Sherelle is one of those types of people that if you see her and you meet her, you will never forget her in person, because what you see on the screen is literally what you get. The energy is infectious. If you follow her on social media, I mean, she is a joy, and I honestly felt like she lights up the screen. Yeah, and when I first met her, actually, she went by Sharella LaBella, which is why you will hear Ashley call her Sharella on the show. Okay, so that's how I first met her as well. And she has a brand called The Good Thick. She's just an all-around amazing woman to know in person. But we're also going to have to talk about her in the context of this show and really see what she's given. Okay. So with that being said, they toast to the new song, Gutter Barbies. But Winter reveals that really she had referred to ERANA and Ashley as the gutter Barbies, pretty women who aim low, okay? Which is kind of catchy when you think about it. But anyway, Sherelle says, well, is it to pay homage to them? Although I don't know how, listen, I maybe need to hear the whole gutter Barbie in and of itself to really understand how it's paying homage to them. Or maybe Sherelle got that mixed up or confused. I still don't understand how a gutter Barbie is an homage. But if Winter says she's gonna turn it into a positive, then so be it. Okay, I believe it. But Sherelle tells her straight up, listen, I'm gonna have to tell Ashley that you're making this song Gutter Barbies, because we got a history together. So I'm just gonna be upfront and I'm going to this event and I'm gonna tell her. And I thought to myself, then this is the first. Now, typically, if we have been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, or if we have been watching Real Housewives of Potomac, and I just use those as examples because they easily popped off my head, but we can also insert any other housewife show in this space, Jersey, Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City, Dubai, Miami. When the person does this action, typically they don't announce it to the person that they're sitting with that they're going to do it. They just usually go behind the scenes and do it. Ashley, Darby. So I really do commend her for being straight up about that. Anyway, Winter feels like she has apologized to these women, and they didn't accept her apologies. And Sherelle is straight up with her, like, girl, listen, you talked about these people's men, you talked about their kids, or you had information or insinuated that you had some information about their kids. I wouldn't really be honestly all that ready to get back together with you either. Like, why would I do that? I would be wanting to curse you out, and I'll need names, dates, places, faces, facial recognition software. I need everything you got. Give it all to me and let me analyze the data myself. Okay. Sherelle just wants to make peace, but she also wants to know, well, what was said about ERANA's, youngest son. Okay. Jason. And it does feel particularly disturbing when I think about the fact that, we're talking about Jason, who is, for all intents and purposes, disabled, but who has an amazingly infectious personality. It is sad that he was brought into this situation, particularly in light of what we're going to find out that was actually said about him and as it relates to Jamie and ERANA. But we'll get to that later. So anyway, Ashley is doing press for her book release. It's her birthday week, and I think it's her book release party. I think all of that's happening at the same time, I believe. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Anyway, she's going to the news station in Baltimore to do a segment where they're interviewing her. It seemed to me that the lady was in the same studio, but for some reason she was on the opposite end of the studio, but I can't really tell. Now, I don't know about y'all, but what I do know is about when I have been on news shows and when I have done news myself, it would be highly irregular for me to have a guest in the studio and for me not to be sitting next to that person. I don't really even know when that happens unless this was done via satellite, or it could have been that they were just doing some enhanced panorama protocols, because it just seemed very odd to me. I was like, she is right there in the studio. Why is Ashley sitting over here? She's standing over here. It didn't make no sense to me, but I ain't producing. So, what do I know? Anyway, but I could. Okay. Anyway, the lady is asking her questions about her books, then suddenly turns it to Monique. And Ashley's like, Monique and Chris ain't writing no book. This is my segment. It's about me. And what's funny about this is, at first I was like, ooh, some shade. But then I was thinking to myself, that's probably how Kelly and Michelle feel when people always asking about, Beyonce. And I say that to say, not to make any equivalent, but it would be like, you and your best friend or somebody doing the same thing, right? And then everybody's asking you about your best friend. And it's like, well, I'm really here to talk about me. You know what I'm saying? I got what she was saying in that moment. It's like, this is about my book. I'm trying to make this a moment. And she wasn't trying to divulge all the tea about Monique and Chris. And she basically tells the truth. Like, I haven't spoken to Monique in about a week and a half. However, you know, that's these people's marriage. You know, I stay out of it. My marriage is where it's at. That's it. That's all I know. That's on period. You want to know what's going on with Monique? You give her a call. Okay. However, comma, I have to look at this objectively. Any news person who is in the game is going to most likely get flack from their producer if they don't insert a question about a hot topic that's in the news. So I look at it from both sides and I completely understand it, because that woman is going to have to do her job, but it really is up to Ashley to answer the question in a way that redirects attention back to her book, which I think she did. So mission accomplished. Okay. She gives a politically correct response, and then she reveals to her assistant that she was caught off guard. ERANA is stressed from the party and she wants some help from Jamie with the packages. Now, oh God, Jamie, bruh, okay. Jamie comes out the room and he comes tumbling down the stairs, baby. And I shouldn't laugh. I'm not laughing at you, Jamie. I'm laughing with you because it's the slides, man. You got to be careful coming down the stairs and them slides like that. Now, you can't be running down the stairs. I mean, he must have, in my mind, he was like, and fell down the stairs, okay? I get to chuckle. Anyway, they stressed out from the night before. Jamie glides down the stairs. ERANA's worried that little Jamie might do some harm to himself because you know the way these kids are today, emo. She asked Jamie not to yell at him all the time, and Jamie's like, "No, whoa, 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 whoa." Okay, all of us was in agreement that the man was out of line by ignoring the family because didn't go his way. Okay, but at the end of the day, Jamie also realizes that he is not getting through to his son. So what we gonna do, right? What you gonna do? You're gonna have to try different means. And so ERANA suggests therapy, and Jamie's like, "Nah, all of us need to go. So just not just he and I, but you too, okay? Sister girl, we're gonna see you in the therapy." So Ashley and her best friend Alicia get together. They're working on some VIP packages for the book, right? And Ashley reveals her sister Pooh will want to talk to her about their mom and how their mom will feel about what Ashley wrote about her in the book, because we learned that at the age of 16, her mom left the home, okay, and moved in with her man, okay, and left Ashley to take care and raise herself. But for some reason, Ashley's mom has a different recollection of how things transpired, and so they gotta deal with that. Meanwhile, Ashley and Alicia are gonna be getting this best friend coordinating tattoo that really makes a smiley face. So you're gonna have two eyes on one person's finger, and then you're gonna have a smiley face on somebody else's finger. Now, I really can't talk about nobody getting a coordinating tattoo because I have a matching tattoo with one of my best friends. So that is an R. Okay. And I have this tattoo that matches with Riley Knox. Okay. So I say do it up. Y'all know if I could, okay, I would have a little heart on my face right here. Okay. It's taking everything in my mind and my power not to do it. Because personally, I see my entire body filled with tattoos, but it is only because I have to do public facing things that has kept me from getting all these tattoos that I really, really want. And especially after my interview with Ebony K. Williams, I'm feeling kind of froggy and like I might just get the tattoos anyway, and everybody else will just have to deal. But I don't know. Y'all pray for me on that one. So anyway, they also recap Joy, and they like Joy because she's up front and she can still handle herself, even though they disagree with her about her as a non-mother going to speak to a bunch of single moms and how much sense that makes. But they cool with her for now. Anyway, Joy, she stops by ERANA's house. They recap the event and they talk about Ashley and Alicia letting everybody know that they are besties, hence the smiley face. They recap them questioning Joy about her speaking at the mom event, and Joy felt like they kind of double teamed her, and Clifton saw Ashley rolling her eyes as she was speaking. But Joy is going to let it slide for now, okay? ERANA tells her, you better address it, okay? I see you, ERANA. Do it. Confront them. Say something. Talk to them. Confrontation. Fight. Okay. Because that's where it's leading to if you didn't see the trailer. Meanwhile, Joy is going to go to the pink party, but she finds that pink is really not her color. Okay. Meanwhile, it's the day of the Think Pink party and everybody arrives. ERANA is wearing a Gutter Barbie jacket, and apparently they made money off of the Gutter Barbie name. Sherelle used to be a writer for Ashley's old website, so that's how they know each other. And she accurately describes Sherelle, aka Sherella, as somebody who is boisterous, gonna do a lot of twerk, gonna speak her mind, gonna be full of energy and bubbly. Okay. Ashley introduces Sherelle to Joy. And when she does, Joy turns her head. Now, the bike story on this situation, okay? The bike story on this situation is that Joy was in a band called Mumbo Sauce. The Mumbo Sauce also had Sherelle's husband Black in it as well. For some reason, Joy says, alleges, let me put this badge up here, okay? Because the streets will get you. And Joy says that apparently there was some selfish reasons that the band broke up, and mostly because of Black's actions. I don't know what those actions are, but for whatever reason, at this point in her time in her life, she has hate in her heart for him and any extension of him. And in my mind, I'm like, listen, I understand that might have been your livelihood. Y'all might have had a good thing popping. You might have been the baddest thing walking and the hottest thing talking. However, what does his wife have to do with something that he did? You are taking out your anger on somebody's wife that you don't even know, that is it even clear that she was with him at the time of this supposed indiscretion, and it just don't make no sense to me. Like that is the pure definition of when people talk about holding a grudge is the equivalent to drinking poison, but hoping that the other person gets sick. Like you holding this grudge against him, and now it's extending to his wife because of what? Okay. I need to know further information before I can make a declaration about whether or not this makes any sense to me and the way you mean bugging this lady out of the blue. Okay. I don't get it yet. So anyway, Ashley reveals that she's a gutter Barbie and it's all because of Snowflake. Okay. AKA Winter. Now, Sherelle pulls her to the side and tells her that Gutter Barbies is about to be a song. Oh, yes, don't you know? And Ashley says, well, is your husband writing it for snowflakes? Okay. And apparently he already wrote it. Ashley says, well, according to Winter, Gutter Barbies are pretty women who aim low. And Sherelle tells her that Black's not writing songs like that. He not doing no diss tracks. He ain't got nothing to do with no dissing and dismissing. So Sherelle then tells her that Winter wants to make amends with them, but Ashley is not here for it. So they go back inside. They address the group. Sherelle lets them know that she told Winter that she was going to tell them about the song. Ashley feels like Sherelle is just trying to cover her booty, and she feels like she got a whole lot of it to cover. Okay, so she's gonna have to work hard, according to Ashley. So Sherelle assures them it's not a diss track. No, Winter is paying homage to them. Yes, I am paying homage to the Gutter Barbies by writing a song called Gutter Barbies, and it is about the Gutter Barbies, okay? And how else could anybody take Gutter Barbies other than it to be angelic creatures who are shining their lights on the earth? Make it make sense. The title alone is enough to make someone a little bit like, eek, you making us, you definitely talking about me, okay? Now, again, I ain't heard the song, so I don't know. Sherelle encourages them to talk to Winter. ERANA thinks that Sherelle is trying to play both sides. So Sherelle gives a speech about trying to cultivate friendships and being transparent. And ERANA asks if Winter told her about sending a DM to her about Jason. At this point, Alicia is like, oh, here we go again. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And I was like, oh, now that was definitely shade. I definitely caught that. I caught it. Did y'all? Okay. Miss Alicia, I got my own, you girl. Okay, so Sherelle says that she told Winter that she don't want to hear about no receipts, okay, or no rumors. Now, ERANA is thinking about going to this meeting. Ultimately, she decides that she's going to go. But the caveat is she can only meet with Winter, aka Snowflake, by herself. Okay. Then Ashley sends Sherelle twerking out to make sure that everybody has drinks, and that's the end. So, FYI, I was at this event. My manager had encouraged me to, be social and go out. I don't think that my manager knew that it was mostly an all women's event. Hence, there not being a lot of other men there. So I did go to the event. Ashley was courteous enough to, welcome me with open arms. I don't know that everybody there did, but Ashley definitely did. So I want to say a huge shout out to Ashley for that, and to production for being so welcoming, and just, because I think that just on a real level, I think sometimes people may assume that because of what I do in terms of not only news and commentary, but I think that people kind of associate me with, especially if they don't know me, like that I might give something away. Like I might go there and then spill some tea or something like that. But that's not really my personality. When I know things that are supposed to be kept quiet, I keep quiet about it. Like that's just who I am in general, because my relationships are things that I value my relationships with people who work in the industry. And I'm not going to risk and jeopardize a relationship just to spill a little bit of tea that may or may not make it into an edit or something like that. So I try to act within the bounds of my responsibility as not only a person, okay, who has morals and responsibilities, but also to the story itself. You know what I'm saying? Letting things play out on the screen. When something leaks and it's published, I'll talk about it, absolutely. But you're not going to hear about a leak from me that was not approved to come out from somebody or some entity. Okay, just know that. Okay. ERANA heads to her meeting with Winter. Winter dives into her apology. She hated what happened to them, and she hated that ERANA didn't respond to her message about the receipts. This is where I kind of disagree with Winter on this notion. If you tell ERANA that you have receipts about who it was speaking about or what was said about her child, I don't know that at the time, because ERANA told me on our interview that what had happened. I don't know if you guys recall that. And so I don't know how I would respond to that. Like, would I want to meet with somebody that said that at that point? Like, at that point, I might be kind of like, I'm good on you. So I can't really blame Morena for not wanting to meet with her, but I do believe that Winter had a responsibility to, if you're going to tell me you have a receipt, you need to tell me where it came from, who said it, and why. Like, I need to know some of those. Like, you can't say, well, somebody, I heard this and that, but not give me the full details. So I do feel like Winter did owe her that. So I think that Winter was trying to do the right thing in that moment, because I feel like she recognized, okay, this went left, right? Arena is also upset that Winter insinuated that Arena and Jamie cheated on each other on Carlos King's the nightcap. Carlos, is that coming back? I need to add, I meant to ask Carlos that, is the nightcap coming back? Because I need some more nightcap, because y'all was moving story on that nightcap now. So I need to know what's going on with that. Winter apologizes again, but Arena calls her out that she'll apologize and then say something else on a live or a podcast. Winter claims that she doesn't talk about Arena, but that they are keeping tabs on every time she does mention them. And she says if she kept tabs on every time they talked about her, she would need a CVS receipt. Okay. Arena, and she wonders why Arena wouldn't just reach out to her if she was offended by something that she said. And Arena's like, well, we're not friends. So they get into the receipts, and Winter said she had receipts that someone in their circle, in Arena and Jamie's circle, was spilling their tea, in particular about Jason. Now, we've spoken about Jason. You guys know who Jason is. And if you don't watch the show, Jason is or Jamie and Arena's son, and he is disabled. But his disability has not stopped him from living a truly fulfilling life, from what it seems like on the screen. So just the mere mention that someone has this, is spreading this information, is just like, yeah, it's kind of cringy to me. So Winter reads Irena demands that she read the receipts out loud. Winter reads them, and the receipts say this: they're acting like they raised Jason when he was actually shipped off to a school in Baltimore. And he's only home now because he's aged out, and they moved her mother in so they could run the streets. Well, let me say this. I don't know what it's like to be a parent to a child for umpteen years, however many years, 18 to 26. I don't know. But what I will say is that I'm sure that after 20 something years of raising kids, I might want to run to the streets too. Chime down if you are a parent and you would love to have your mother over or your mother-in-law over so you can run into them streets, man. Run into these streets. Overall, I did enjoy this episode. It was great to see more of Winter. She has a fresh personality. I think that Sherelle brings a great dynamic to the show. I love that, we're seeing a lot more of Lil Jamie and Big Jamie's relationship. I think that's going to be interesting to see how things move along. And I think it's a good thing that they're adding some, like Alicia and Ashley's, assistant. Like, we're getting more people involved into the mix, because I think that when you add more personalities, it makes the show pop and it gives a lot of flavor, right? So I can't wait to see how things progress. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this second episode as much as I did. And again, shout out to the Think Pink squad. This is your boy Richie Skye. As you guys can probably hear, I am a little bit under the weather and my voice is trying to escape me, and I am desperately trying to hold on to it. But with that being said, we are out.